Don't worry. I'm done.
Throw money.
So over the last couple of years, there's been far too few of live shows for me personally, and probably for you folks too. You haven't really had a chance to get out, so I'm going to start by saying thank you. For some of you folks traveling from far, and from some of you folks that are just coming down the street, it's appreciated that you've made it out this evening to have some fun. We had a one-bedroom apartment on the second floor, and it took everything we made. Remember that yellow carpet and the bathroom door that didn't quite close it all the way. We made our plans there at the table, everywhere we go, and how we'd spend the rest of our lives. And though our plans have changed a little, I still know, I've known it all these times. Say you love about me, say you love about me, and that's gonna last forever, ever, ever, ever. I'll tell you what I love about you, and that's gonna last forever, ever, ever. Oh. For each chairs out in the garden, near the sycamore, in your red dress you stay. And I think to myself, oh Lord, how could I ask for more than you on this perfect day? I tell you what I love about you, I tell you what I love about you. That's gonna take forever, ever, ever. Oh, I tell you what I love about you, I tell you what I love about you. That's gonna take forever, ever. Oh, and somewhere down the road, when we both get old and cry, I'm gonna look at you and smile. I tell you what I love about you, I tell you what I love about you. That's gonna take forever, ever, ever. Oh, I tell you what I love about you, I tell you what I love about you. That's gonna take forever, ever, ever. What I love, I tell you what I love, I tell you what I love. I tell you what I love, I tell you what I love. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Hey, Char, I guess in that last song you turned it down a little bit. Is it possible to have a bit more vocal in the monitor? Or were you turning that down for attention? A little bit, that'd be great, thanks. Well, I'm happy to be here. This is actually, I'm only out in British Columbia for a week. Me and my wife, we decided that we were going to fly out and spend some time out here. And very happy that we were able to make a show happen here at Port Alberni. And yeah, for sure. I'm coming back in July for a whole bunch of shows all over the place, which is exciting. Going to be in Parksville on July 17th, which is coming in. I'm down in Duncan on the 18th, and a whole bunch of other things that are going to be happening. Yeah. Your face on the last train, say, oh look, nothing is seen. Sometimes it hurts, it might get worse along the way. I'm gonna learn from those mistakes. We're gonna go back, we'll go back to the way it was. We'll go back, yeah. We'll go back to the way it was. Into my brain. Sometimes it hurts, it might get worse along the way. Oh, it hurts, I'm gonna learn from those mistakes. Nothing has changed. Sometimes it hurts, it might get worse along the way. Oh, it hurts, I'm gonna learn from those mistakes. Won't go back, won't go back, won't go back to the way it was. Won't go back, won't go back. Won't go back, won't go back, won't go back to the way it was. Won't go back, won't go back, yeah. Won't go back, won't go back, won't go back to the way it was. Won't go back, won't go Thank you so much. It's funny, as I was playing that song, I was like, hey, someone's tapping along to me like perfectly. And it's actually my reflection right here that's... I have not played behind glass before other than my online experiences of playing music. But it's cool, I like it. It's an extra thing that allows me to see how much saliva actually does come out of my mouth during the show. I've played three shows in the last probably year. I haven't played very much out, and I'm extremely excited about getting back out and playing for people and meeting new people and finding new inspiration for new songs that I'm probably going to write along the path, and seeing fantastic things and hearing stories from people that I haven't seen for years and meeting brand new ones that I've never even met before. See what comes out of that. I like to travel, both me and my wife. We have gone all kinds of different places, including Australia not that long ago. Well, it's actually quite a long time ago now. It's like 4 years, 5 years. And Australia is quite similar to Canada in the way that people think and the way that people act. And so while we were there, I couldn't help but write a whole whack load of songs, this next one included, because when I go somewhere for a long period of time, I always find that I come back differently. I make changes along the path. In fact, if I looked out here and asked each one of you privately, you'd probably tell me that you're in the middle of something. Something that's changing, something that's different, something big that's coming up. Maybe you're going away, maybe you're starting a new job, maybe you're ending an old one, maybe you got new people in your life. Decisions, we make them every day. And they have massive impact. And I'll probably write 1,000 songs on that before I pass this world and leave it behind. 79 he was standing on Baker's Creek Bridge with a suitcase in his hand and his thumb out in the wind. He didn't have a plan, just a 20 in his pocket. When he was young, he always thought he'd be just like his dad. Working 9 to 5 in the steel mill didn't sound so bad. Now he stands on the edge of the town, thinking about the last thing he ever said. I could stay here, I could move on, I can get closer where I can get going. I could get a job, buy a house, settle down, or just walk away. I could stay here, I could move on. Sometimes it's hard knowing right from wrong. Like which bridge to burn, or which one to take. Chevy when it finally stopped, and when his hand beneath the handle it started raining down. Thoughts, he was happy and scared, anxious and unprepared. And the guy in the car said, where you going? And he said, man, I don't really know. I can stay here, I can move on, I can get closer where I can get going. I can get a job, buy a house, settle down, or just walk away. I can stay here, I can move on. Sometimes it's hard knowing right from wrong. Like which bridge to burn, or which one to take. One last look behind the road, then it all hit home. When the car door closed, the voice in his head, well, it wouldn't let go. I could stay here, I could move on, I can get closer where I can car. I'd get a job, buy a house, settle down, just walk away. I could stay here, I could move on. Sometimes it's hard knowing right from wrong. Like which bridge to burn, oh, which one to take. Like which bridge to burn, oh, which one to take. Yeah. No, he was standing on Baker's Creek Bridge. For my whole world, I've really preferred small towns. I lived in a little place on Vancouver Island when I was growing up called Deep Cove, which was just outside of Sydney, and at the time Sydney was a pretty small town as well. Now I live in a place in Ottawa, or just outside of Ottawa, called Rockland, small town. There's a man in Rockland who I met a number of years ago. I used to put bands together. I love that shirt, by the way. It looks a little bit like this one, but I love it. This man, he used to come to all of the shows that I would put on with all of these children bands. I would put like 60 kids we'd have, and we'd put them in bands of 5 or 6, and we'd write original songs, and we'd have this big, huge showcase at the end of the year. And this man would be at every single one of those shows. I would take pictures of all of the bands and have them sign autographs after the show for all of their fans and family. And this man bought every single one of those pictures. He runs the local museum in our town, and he put them up on the wall. They've been in there now for 10, 12 years. It's pretty cool to see, because all those children are now adults, going to school or having jobs or disappearing into some other place in the world that I don't even know, and they're living their lives, and it's kind of cool. But it's amazing to watch somebody give so much to something, and that man gave so much to our town. He runs this 3-story museum. He lost his wife a number of years ago, and he dedicated himself to the city. So I'm sitting in traffic and I'm anxious. You've all probably been there, where you want to get somewhere, you're late, and you want to get to this place, and the rest of the world isn't really cooperating with you and your plan. I was in one of those moments one day. I was staring up at the long light that we have at the intersection in Rockland, and there was a car in front of me, and I was looking at that light because I knew dang well it was a short one. I only had a certain amount of time to get over left to make it to my meeting that I was already 10 minutes late for. And I watched that light change, and I had my foot ready on the gas, but the man in front of me did not. He had his head down. He was looking at something. I thought maybe his phone. That light does not last long, so I gave him the polite, ha! But nothing. No response. So I did what any diplomatic person would do. I gave him 2 of those. Ha, ha. But still, nothing. Like he didn't even know. And now my patience had reached its tolerance because this light is short, so I went, ha! And he looked up really quickly, like, oh my God, ah! And he panicked. And he got his shit together enough to get around that corner to leave me at a red light. I swore. I didn't just swear. I hit my steering wheel with my hand and my fist. And I went, fuck! Sorry for the swearing. And I was mad, legit. Road ragey in a sense. I feel like something had been taken from me. for a second there. And when the car made the left, I could see directly inside, and it was this man who gives his heart to this city. Mr. Char. It was in that moment that I knew things can change on a dime. My whole perspective and paradigm shift in my head. I was like, how could I possibly be mad at somebody who gives so much of themselves? He was maybe thinking about his wife, or what he was going to do next for somebody, while I got to get to my meeting. Like, it's important. On the day I wrote this next song, I was heading off to a songwriting camp, and me and that beautiful lady in the back there, we were not really smiling and laughing with each other. We had had a little bit of a different morning. And so it kind of led me to thinking about all kinds of different times in your life where you have these paradigm shifts. And I wrote this. Still around. Lying awake, wondering what happens now. I got no time to sleep, can hear in the dark. And under the sheets, I still got my heart, fears holding on. Anywhere I wanna go. Every time I walk away, just a little love will last me forever. Just a little smile, and I wanna do better by you. Better. Sometimes life takes a turn. The picture I have is faded, and sometimes it burns. The more that I want, the harder it gets to let myself go. But still, unless I keep holding on. Just a little touch.
Thank you so much for that. That's very cool.
It feels so good to be back and playing, for sure. Whoever started that clap. Hey! In my travels as a writer, I've written over 1,000 songs. I don't say that to go, look at me. I say it because I'm inspired daily almost. I get inspired by all kinds of different things, and this song came out maybe 20 years ago. This one that I'm about to play. It's the longest titled song that I have in my entire repertoire, and it's devoted to the couples out there. Because the song's title is, I would rather fight with you than make love to somebody else. And it goes like this. Can't stand still. I was supposed to hold my breath or reach for the sky. Take a look and close your eyes. I can't stop. Turn around. I'm 200 feet above the ground. Every turn and every twist, every second I'm in is what I could miss. The faster we fly, how do we try to imagine that I could, and I know you and gonna make that just fine. With a little bit of luck, baby, all the time. You and me, don't. 'Cause I would rather fight with you than make love to someone else. Plane leaves at 7:05. You're stripping out a package just to make it there on time. Hey, never really got the chance to speak, so I went to a cab downtown. Hurry, man, there's an extra $20 if you get me there. Man, don't stop, put your pedal to the floor. Forget about the cops, drop me at the door. Faster we fly, how do we try to imagine like we could get back? And I know you and me are gonna make out just fine. With a little bit of baby, all the time. You and me, and we felt. 'Cause I'd rather fight with you than make love to someone else. Gonna make out just fine with a little bit of luck, baby. All out of wine. And I know you and me and the way we feel. 'Cause I would rather fight with you than make love to someone else. I would rather fight with you you. I would rather fight with 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 you. Take it to the left, take it to the right. Take it right, everything you don't like. You like what you need to remember that everyone, everywhere, everywhere. Take it to the right, take it to the left. Remember what you just said, man. When I was just a kid, I was playing music with a rock and roll band, or it seemed like we were playing rock and roll at the time anyway. And I would be like running all over the stage. That's the kind of energy I have, or had. And now that I'm reaching the ripe old age of something, that energy has shifted dramatically. So my strategy was grow dreads, and then when you move, it looks like you're really moving. Because right now I'm out of breath and I did nothing. I did some jumping jacks, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's time to start walking, North. I don't know. It's just a thought. Like, childhood is amazing. I have, me and my beautiful wife, we have 6 children. And they range from, I know, it's crazy. Ranging from 31 all the way down to 15 now. But when I started playing, they were just wee. They were just little, and they used to come with us on the tours and as we came across the country. And I miss those times, but yet excited about the times ahead because they're forging their own lives, you know? But there's something about a child, the innocence of a child, and I'll give you a good example. You take a child who's around 8 or 9, and they dress themselves for school, and they wear anything and everything they have. I'll wear a blue hat, I'll wear pink shoes, I don't care that I'm wearing shorts with leotards underneath it, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go to school the way I feel, not so much what I'm thinking about other people are thinking. And I love that about kids. And then around 10, there's some kind of weird consciousness that happens and awareness, and they all start dressing the way everybody else seems to dress, or that's at least the way I've seen it. I've hoped that in the course of raising our children that we haven't let them let go of some of the things they've always wanted to do. When realism comes in and says, hey, maybe that's not going to be feasible for you at this particular moment. Because if we're not doing something that makes us happy, maybe that's a decision that needs to be made too. I used to lay on the fade road, wondering where I'm gonna go. Because it doesn't really matter, no matter what you do, if you can hold on to the dreams of your childhood. Well, that's kind of the way I played it. I used to put on a cape when I was 8, pretending I could fly around. Get the girls, save the world from the bad guys, all with the speed of sound. Stop a runaway train, walk through the flames, break the chains that held me down. That was then, this is now. It ain't real, not unless it feels right. It ain't real, not unless it feels right. Everything you see is only make-believe. Everything you need is still inside. It ain't real, not unless it feels right. Not unless it feels right. I used to lay on the ground late at night, waiting for a shooting star. Make a list of the wishes that I wanted, staring up through the dark. I think of where I wanna go, what I wanna be, and who I wanna fall in love with me. But that was then, this is now. It ain't real, not unless it feels right. It ain't real, not unless it feels right. Everything you see is only make-believe. Everything you need is still inside. It ain't real, not unless it feels right. Not unless it feels right. I could fall in love like a movie star. I could say, girl, and give her my heart. I could wait for the train to get me, stand in the rain while the light passes down. I could close my eyes, picture everything in a room go by. I'm telling myself inside, it ain't real, not unless it feels right. It ain't real, not unless it feels right. Everything you see is only make-believe. Everything you need is still inside. Everything you see is only make-believe. Everything you need is still inside. Everything you see is only make-believe. Everything you need is still inside. Oh, it ain't real. Not unless it feels right.
Thank you very much for that. So
The pandemic, that's fun, eh? Everybody have a good time with that? A couple of my friends changed professions, sadly. They kind of took some people out of it, but you know, the cool thing about the pandemic, and there is some cool things, is that I bet you every artist out there did something they've never done before. They wrote, they drew something, they painted something, they emoted what it was that they were feeling through it. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, even if you weren't an artist, you probably did something different. I mean, we redid our garden in the back, and it looks magical now. And we probably wouldn't have had time to do that if it had just stayed the way that it was. And I wrote a ton of songs over the course of the pandemic. This one in particular that I'm going to play for you folks right now was simply for one reason. It was for when I got to get back together with everybody, people like yourselves, and a family, and hug, you know, and smile and laugh in a kitchen, or whatever it was that we do, because everything got weird for a long time. I mean, it's still a little weird, but we're coming through. There's a pile of coats on a chair by the door, and a whole heap of shoes scattered on the floor. And in the kitchen there's a ton of people listening to the stories they have missed since they've been gone. A brother's hug, a mother's kiss, and everybody reminisces about the things they haven't done. There ain't nothing like the feeling when you realize that this is love. Oh, we don't got much time till the music stops and the night ends. Oh, when we say goodbye, all my thoughts will be making plans of when we meet again, of when we meet again. A couple drinks and the board games hit the team. The talk is fast and long, and the flashback laugh track keeps on playing that same old song. Oh, you got much time till the music stops and the night ends. Oh, when we say goodbye, all my thoughts will be making plans of when we meet again, of when we meet again. Oh, we don't got much time till the music stops and the night ends. All my thoughts will be making plans of when we meet again, of when we meet again, of when we meet again, of when we meet again. Char, I love this venue. I don't know what you're back there. I can barely see. I'm blind. It's very cool, very cool. If you guys want to drop some food over the glass every so often, that'd be sweet. He's got something for us. You know, over the time that I've been on the island since I was a kid, every time we come back, I've met some incredible people. I see a bunch of faces out there that I've met over time that have just impacted me in an incredible way. And one of my friends who lives up in Comox, by the way, or Cork Comox area, who is somewhere else that wasn't able to make it down, but me and her were sitting in her kitchen, and she was feeding me some glorious food, which I thought was very nice of her. And we were talking about life, and we were talking about, honestly, we were talking about social media, because, you know, we all open our phones and we look for a couple minutes and then we get pulled into something crazy, maybe. So in our conversation, I was playing the guitar in the background as she was talking. She told me about somebody that was in her sort of circle that kept on posting things that just weren't really appropriate and that she just didn't really want to see anymore. And so at one point she says to me, she says, why is it that people just can't keep it to themselves? And I did what any friend would do in that moment. I said, get out, because I need to write a song. So I kicked her out of her kitchen and I wrote this next tune.
That's my whole thing.
I've been stuck here for a while, just scrolling through the pages, looking back at my mistakes. Now that everything is changing, and I'm trying to find a way to just get through another day without you. We were lovers, now we're friends, but we're just strangers in the end. And it's hard to just pretend like it was nothing, cause it wasn't. Was it love, or is that something we just said? And I'm caught up in your timeline, just trying to forget another picture that you posted, another person that you're holding. Man, that shit is cold, and it's more than you know. And if you ever wanna know how you can help, then keep it to yourself. I don't wanna leave you with somebody else. You can like the feeling like the way we felt. Can't you see it clearly? Yourself. And it's hard to look away while my finger swipes the screen. I get caught up in the cats and dogs and all the viral imagery. Then a memory of us years ago. It is my page and there I go. I click your name, see your face. Can't you just keep it to yourself? I don't wanna see you with somebody else. You get like the feeling like the way we felt. Can't you see it killing me? Further down I see another fucking R.I.P. Malcolm, everyone I know is going through the same as me. And if you really, really want to help, if you really, really want to help, keep it to yourself. I don't want to see you with somebody else, looking like and feeling like the way we felt. Can't you see you're killing me? Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. I don't wanna see you with somebody else, looking like and feeling like the way we felt. Can't you see you're killing me? Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. That's okay, thank you very much.
So,
CDs are over. Ha! Like, people don't have CDs anymore. In fact, all new cars, no CDs, players in them or anything like that. So the music industry has changed dramatically for us artists. When we go out and we play, we don't really have that process anymore. We have Spotify, which pays not a lot of money, but we have a chance to at least share our music with people, and I find that to be something that's very cool. I have some new type of merchandise out there, kind of like my buddy Ron here. I take a lot of pictures, and so I've taken some pictures over the years and created some greeting cards of sorts that may touch the hearts of somebody you know, or maybe yourself, or maybe you want to put it in a frame, or maybe you want to do something with it, but that's going to be one of the ways that we sort of market ourselves. I encourage any of you folks to have a look at the back there, and or the front. I guess it's the front, really, because you come in that way. I don't know if it's the back or the front. Maybe I'm at the back right now. I'm not overly excited about getting up early in the morning. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I can do it. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning one day, and I'm standing in a room full of people, and I'm kind of frustrated, a little bit challenged. I'm definitely on edge. There's about 30 of us, anxious, moving from one foot to the other because it seems to be taking a long time. As I look further to my right, I see a bunch of people seated, smiling, having a good old time. But not us, not the ones that are standing. We're impatient. Everyone I see is on their smartphone. Not right now, but I mean in life, in this moment. And I didn't charge mine the night before, go figure. So it sits dead in my pocket. So I look around for something to do, and over on the edge of a cabinet, I see a business card that catches my eye, so I decide to walk on over and pick it up. And as I'm walking back to the line, I start to look at it, and the man in line behind me, he taps me on the shoulder, and he goes, "Move forward." Like rude, you know? and I think all these crazy things and do exactly what he says. I put the card in my back pocket and I don't think anything more of it, and I go on waiting. Like a minute passes, then 2, then 5 it seems like, and when I finally get to where I want to be, when I'm finally there staring at the person I came to see, oh, I think this out, I know what I'm going to say. I look at her, she looks at me, and I say, in my most clearest and concise voice, I would like a venti vanilla soy latte, please. She says, sure. I hand her a $10 bill. She hands me back $2.80.
What the?
Yeah, that's right. I go into the sea of people waiting for their tasty beverages, everybody back on their phone. Oh, and it's at this moment that I decide that I'm going to pull that card out of my back pocket and get a closer look. Now, on this card, there's a man who looks vaguely familiar. And by familiar, I mean he's holding a guitar. He's giving away one of his songs for free on this little tiny card. How cool, what a great idea. I mean, I just paid $8 for a beverage that I'm gonna rent for a couple hours, and this guy's gonna give away the song that broke his heart as he wrote it for like days in his basement. And he's gonna just say, here you go folks, have that for free. The music industry has changed dramatically. As an artist, it kind of makes me a little bit challenged. As a songwriter, I'm really pissed off, but I can do something about it. I can write a song about it, which is what I did. This is called the Coffee Cup Song. I wait my turn and stand in line 10,000 feet in front of mine. Everybody focused on the tension. Fingers swap their little screens, scrolling through like nicotine, addicted to the latest new invention. And one by one they come and go, caught up in the undertow. Other people left there waiting for attention. I struggle with my same thoughts, justify the point it costs, cause a lot of them all is paid with good intention. You can buy yourself a couple of coffee, spend your money on a new magazine, a bottle of Coke, another pack of smokes, pay a freaking dollar every time you use a bank machine. Throw your money down on the races, buy another shot, something you really need, to pay for the song. Well, that is on a long list of things we don't see we'll get for free. I dig my hands into my pockets, I pay the man and stand and watch him make the same thing I could in my kitchen. I buy my living work, I'm waiting, I need to face the faces in. I'm caught up in a constant contradiction. Buy yourself a couple of coffee, spend your money on a new magazine, a bottle of Coke, another pack of smokes, pay a freaking dollar every time you use a bank machine. Throw your money down on the races, buy another shot, something you really need, to pay for the song. That is on a long list of things we don't sing it for free. But it takes more than a thing just to breathe. focused on potential. Fingers sharp, that little screen is scrolling through like nicotine, addicted to the latest invention. I finally get that cup I crave. I close my eyes and slip away, a captive in the clutches of the moment. A prisoner in a caffeine cage, my feet they hit the back way. I crash into the kick and keep on rolling. Buy yourself a cup full of coffee, stick it over on a new magazine, a bottle of Coke, another pack of smokes, pay a freaking $1 every time you use a bank machine. Throw your money down on the races, buy another shot of something new and prepare for the storm. Oh, that is on a long list of things that we always secretly for free. I'll be right back.
So can I buy you a Red Bull for your second set?
Yes. Red Bull, Red Bull. How you guys doing? I'm gonna hug you. I know it's been a year.
2.5 years. This is the telling sign.
Just keep on getting rains along, you know? Yeah, I've considered cutting it back down because it's a little heavy. There's also something
Put some beads, put some more beads.
I shoved them up here, yeah. I put them up because A, they're heavy, but they also get my yeah.
But you just gotta carry spare teeth, that's all.
That's the whole thing. Not overly traveling a lot. We traveled to Pascal and Jazz are about our second oldest and third. They work with Vancouver. So over the last couple of years, each year I drove one of them out and moved to the next one. So and they're both doing really well. Pascal's in jewelry school. My son
Very
just
cool. I mean, I did jewelry for 25 years.
Well, I think you guys up and stuff. Yeah, is that why? Because it's using all those like lights here. Whether you can see.
Well, not like I used to, but I used to do everything with the naked eye, and I did carvings that were so small that you can't believe. Like a grain of pepper. Smaller than a grain of pepper was an eagle's eye, and I could put the dot pupil in the right spot by sound. Lining up and going, yeah, okay, I'm right up there. I heard it. It's done.
Okay, all right, because you can't really
And that was,
see the...
no.
You must be looped up.
No, I know, that was naked eye.
Oh, look at it.
And then I started wearing a visor. And that was a mistake because you get lazy. Your eyes get lazy, right? I knew a graver, and a setter, and a graver, and they never used magnification. This is a European philosophy, right? They never used magnification. right? And they're doing a job for me. They're setting stones, and it's like dim light like this. How can you do that? Because I work under 200, 100 here, 100 here, and I'm right in between. I answer.
No, but they exercise.
Yeah, they've never.
They should start that earlier in life.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people wouldn't. Like, I've been wearing glasses for a long time, but it's great. And now when I take my glasses off, when I read something, I still have to do this because my eyes are shifting. They're better down here for reading and better up here for seeing. As your brain will get better.
I wore glasses until I was about 54, 53, and I haven't worn them since. I just took them off.
5 car accidents.
I just took them off, and like with proper glasses, like I could see road signs more clearly sooner. But it's like my eyes just got better and better and better and better. They're leveled out. But yeah, glasses make you lazy.
The other one is one Joe's. The other one is the general just became the general manager of just marijuana. Dutch law.
Oh, really?
He's 21 years old and just became a GM. He looks like he's 27 years old. A tattoo on his neck, he's got his arm, his body, all full, but it is, in 10 years from now, the technology to get rid of stuff like that's going to.
That's the best thing. Best involvement, best investment is hearing equipment, and because of what people did in the 80s and 90s, sitting on the SkyTrain, like this far away from somebody, and you can hear what they're listening to in their clothes.
Oh, I'm not up for another 10 or 15 years. I'm in a national grad, so.
One of the things about stuff that's happened after your COVID, two significant things. Kids to school.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It just simply goes, you're thinking, I'm going to put up with it. But before, it was like, on base.
I thought that was a kid, my father got it. You're almost so.
It doesn't have anything. And the other thing is, people want to share joints. Major. Which is something that should have come to 40 years ago, right? I stopped sharing joints about 12, 15 years ago. I just went, oh my God. And then once a year I go, oh, I know this. We go next year. So we're missing. And I went, that's it.
That's it, man. You gotta do it. We gotta make alterations. I mean, bugs are gonna get it.
I don't want to get twisted, right? Try to use that. Break off a piece of your major stuff. But my friend who is a teacher, she taught at 2 schools, pop music, taught at 2 schools, with choir at 1 or both schools. And then she had 2 kids at home who went to 2 independent schools. So you get 4 schools, it's like fire soup, right? And they're sick. And I feel really hard to do some of these problems. I got this constitution that I'm working on. So all I'm doing is just boosting my immune system. Keep strong, right stuff. Zinc and vitamin D and garlic and ginger.
Should be able to battle it all off.
Yeah. Like always.
It's the vocal ticket louder. I just turned my down. Yeah, so I got my gain back. Yeah, it was here, and I put it here. You'll see the difference. It'll tell you the Yeah. Yeah.
Is that better?
What's that? Yeah, no, I was turning it down here, but I could bring it further.
If I can get a tiny bit more, that'd be great. Oh yeah, that's much better. Thank you. Yes, thank you. She comes into a cab and she lights a smoke and takes a drag. Whispers to the driver, can you help me fight? Another dive, another bar, another table full of cards, another place I can go just to lose my mind. I need a hit, I need a quick fix out of this. Need another long night with a big rings. Need the feel of a real good hand. I need to take a chance and spin the wheel again. I need a kick, I need to live my life in the back of a rocket ship. Hold on with my fingertips and do it all again. I don't need a reason, just a feeling. Can't stop until I break even. Hold on, kicking and screaming, take me to the top. Hey, 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 hey. Oh yeah. And in the parking lot she pays the cabman. She takes a shot of whiskey, struggles hard to keep it down. And past the open doors, the slot machine, and straight towards the devil with his deck of cards in this Sin City town. I need a hit, I need a quick fix out of this. Need another long night with a big rings. I need a feel of a real good hand. I need to take a chance and spin the wheel again. I need a kick, I need to live my life in the back of a rocket ship. Hold on with my fingertips and do it all again. Don't need a reason, just a feeling. Can't stop until I break even. Hold on, kicking and screaming, take me to the top. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't need a reason, just a feeling. Can't stop until I break even. Hold on, kicking and screaming, take me to the top. Oh, I don't need a reason, just a feeling. Can't stop until I break even. Hold on, kicking and screaming, take me to the top. Thank you so much. That's very cool. It's like, this room is so great. Like, the acoustics of this room are so great. I almost don't, like, sometimes I don't even feel like I need the microphone. It's kind of a neat room. So, lots of stuff's happening in the world beyond the pandemic. A lot of people are inventing all kinds of crazy cool stuff. A bunch of starships are going up into the unknown area. A bunch of rich guys are spending money on stupid things that they shouldn't be spending their money on. And I'm not suggesting the space guys. I think exploration of space is kind of a cool thing. I support it. 2% of the gross amount of money in the world makes sense. That's pretty cool. But there's a lot of people who are doing some pretty shitty things out there with their money. And as an artist, as a songwriter, as a guy who doesn't make a lot of green when it comes to playing music or doing that kind of stuff, it's not about like, oh, I wish I could have some. It's more like, I wish you would do something better with it and maybe change the world rather than impact the world in a negative way. The beauty of being a songwriter is I can say what I want to say about it. And I've written a couple songs about this kind of point. And, well, this one here is dedicated to Bezos and his bevy of humans, I guess. I'm actually a huge fan of Musk, though, so I can't really diss him in this, but... Hey there, billionaire, how much more do you think is fair? How much more do you really need? Can't you see the world, well, it's on fire? Everyone I know is fucking tired of watching you get richer. Hey there, billionaire, either you don't know or you don't care. You don't know cause you're high on greed. All of us sheep where we keep staying quiet, hypnotized and stuck on autopilot while you keep getting richer. Hey there, billionaire, little men with the lion's share, sleight of hand on the balance sheet. How do you sleep when you're bored in paradise? You can fix it all and not think twice, but you'll still get richer. Oh, here's a simple offer, one I hope you take. Keep $100 million, then give the rest away. Think of how many people that money it could save. But there you sit, up in your rocket ship, proud of the things you've done off the backs of everyone. You sit up in your rocket ship, and it's abundantly clear you don't give a shit about us down here, us down here, us down here. Oh, you don't give a shit about us down here. Oh, oh. Hey there, billionaire, how much more do you think is fair? How much more do you really need? Can't you see the world when it's on fire? Thank you so much. There's a controversy to that, because if I ever have a billionaire in the audience, like, he's not going to give me money after that. What do? I wonder. I keep singing whatever the hell I want to sing. I think that's what I do. I don't know.
Got a big tip for honesty.
That's right. That's what I'm hoping for. So, on your way out the door, if you don't mind. You know, I already have a huge smile. I haven't met everybody in the room or even said hello to everybody in the room, but those who I have had a chance to see, you fill my heart up in these shows. Like, it just makes me want to go write more music and book more shows, and I appreciate you like you can't even imagine. Thank you. I'm stuck in the news cycle of craziness. I like to look at things that are going bad in the world, like a lot of us do, and I get pulled in, and I become the reporter for some people who say, hey, what's happening? And I can go on and tell them, here's what's happening. At least according to these lying news sources. But it's the people that make the difference. The people, as odd as they are, and some of you folks are odd, I'm not gonna lie. I am. Yes, thank you. I agree with that. Thank you. Because if we can get normal, man, somebody stop the train. Let's change it. Let's turn the direction. Let's get off the tracks, if you will. I had a chance to sit with one of those odd human beings and write this song. This gentleman named Barry, who's not an incredibly prolific songwriter to date, but he's got some kick-ass ideas. And he came up with some really cool thoughts that I incorporated into this next tune. And it's really for all of us because it's dedicated to the craziness that we all go through. Katie's a lady who drives a Mercedes, goes a little crazy when she's running late. And it don't matter how much money she got, she can't buy the life she wants anyways. And David didn't make it as an actor, now all he's after is a little more laughter. At the end of the day, he works down at the local lounge, serving drinks to those who haven't quite found their way. It don't matter where you've been or where you're going, the only thing you really need to know, we all get lost, we all feel hurt, and we all lose sight of what it's all worth. And we all go crazy sometimes, and maybe that's why it all works. Thomas made a promise to his mother on the day he lost his brother. Said, Mom, I'm gonna take away your pain. But it's been 4 years and she's still in tears, and it's hard as hell for her to even say his name. It don't matter where you've been or where you're going, the only thing you really need to know, we all get lost, we all feel hurt, and we all lose sight of what it's all worth. And we all go crazy sometimes, and maybe that's why it all works. We all lose hope, we all get scared, and we all keep trying hard to get somewhere. And we all go crazy sometimes, and maybe that's what'll get us there. Scared that she won't marry the man she had in mind. She's almost 35 and thinks she's running out of time. Well, she's caught up in the clock of life, and if only she could realize, we all get lost, we all feel hurt, we all lose sight of what it's all worth. And we all go crazy sometimes, and maybe that's why it all works. We all lose hope, we all get scared, and we all keep trying hard to get somewhere. And we all go crazy sometimes, and and maybe that's what'll get us there. And we all go crazy sometimes, and maybe that's what'll get us there. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thanks so much. That's very, very cool. So the number has risen to 15. I've driven across this country now 15 times. As I said to you guys in the first set, I would pack all my kids up in the car, me and my wife, and we would disappear for 45 days, disappear from Ottawa, and then we'd visit all these places along the path, and family, friends, we'd make new friends, we'd play in different venues, we'd sleep on different couches, we'd smell different things in the van, and we would do all kinds of things. And it has become, for me, it has become this, hey man, it's a fairy tale come true that I get to do that, and be able to travel this beautiful country, because it's huge, and there's so many amazing things to see along the path. You know, we were driving through Saskatchewan, and suddenly we saw a fire on the side of the road. We were like, what is that? Well, it's all of the weeds, or all the grass is burning. And we stopped and we, watched this fire, just this wild fire just taking over the grass. And another time we'd be in the same sort of area and the storms would be coming down, and you'd watch lightning come, and then there was stars shooting through the sky, and a meteor came through. Like, these are some pretty incredible experiences just by driving across the country to see some people that we love. And I don't just look forward to it, it's part of me. And so I've written a ton of tunes about it. This is my favorite one that I've written about it. This one here is called Counting the Headlights. We jumped into the car, filled it up, and we just kept driving. Two of us headed out in the dark. You'd be the co-pilot, work the radio when it gets quiet, find a way to go, and when you get tired, you can lean in and close your eyes. Oh, hey, oh, I can take the wheel till morning. If you wanna sleep right now, oh, I can find a place to stop for a little while. Oh, hey, oh, I can hear the West Coast calling. What if we stay up all night, counting headlights, counting the headlights. 10 hours from Manitoba in my father's 82 Corolla, feet on the dash, head on my shoulder, foot on the gas, pushing the motor. We'll stop in Winnipeg, grab some food, and we stretch our legs, then it's back in the car, off like a jet, trying to keep up with the speed of the sunset. Oh, way, oh, I can take the wheel till morning. If you wanna sleep right now, oh, I can find a place to stop for a little while. Away, oh, I can hear the West Coast calling. What if we stay up all night, counting headlights, counting the headlights. We got a couple thousand miles to go, you and me on the open road, windows down with the nighttime cold, keeping us awake. And we got a couple thousand miles to go, counting the headlights, counting the headlights. We jumped into the car, filled it up, and we just kept driving. Two of us headed out in the dark. So when my dad passed away, he actually did bequeath his 1982 Toyota Corolla to me, and we towed it across the country. And when we got it out there, I tried my best to take as good care. It's still alive. It's still alive. My dad would not be proud of me. My dad actually, he had this sort of way of telling me how you needed to drive, and this was his advice. He said, "See those two dice that are up on the dashboard? As long as they stay where they are, you're driving properly. If they're moving around, you're driving too fast. Those dice are now down in a key tray, because that thing handles, like, I've had people offer me money because it's a full steel body, so when you're turning corners, you feel everything." So it's pretty fun. He would laugh. I'm sure he'd laugh, or he'd not laugh and be mad. I'm going to play a song that's brand new. Relatively brand new for me. I have a couple brothers and brotherhood. I don't know how many people here have brothers, but brothers are incredible and crazy things in life. The middle brother, he's like a sentimental guy. He always hugs me and smiles, and he drinks maybe sometimes a little too much when we're hanging out, but he then, tells me and professes his love to me in those moments. The other brother is a little bit more angry at life, and there's been some stories. He has had some incredible things happen in his life, and I don't even need to go into the details on that. Actually, I'm going to change that to a different key. Anyway, I'm going to give it a go. This one here is called Hey Brother. Don't know how to swim, jump in the deep end. Don't know how to win, work on the weekend. Don't want to ever quit, then dig your feet in. Hold your ground, hold your ground. Don't know how to stay strong, is that a weakness? Don't know how to stay calm and when the pieces of the wreckage belong to the weakness. Hold your ground, hold your ground. I don't know how much longer I can fight, how much longer I can fight, yeah. Don't know how to fly, let's get a jet plane. We could both get higher than the Golden Gate, across the sky at the speed of sound. Then somewhere above we fall to the ground. I don't know how much longer I can fight, how much longer I can fight. Hey brother, won't you come and see me, brother? Save me from myself, save me from myself. Don't know how to swim, jump in the deep end. Don't know how to win, work on the weekend. Don't wanna ever quit, then dig your feet in. Hold your ground, hold your ground. Hey brother, won't you come and see me, brother? Save me from myself, save me from myself, yeah. sure that's in tune. Sometimes when I beat up on my guitar, it kind of goes a little bit further out of tune. I'm using an open tune right now, for those of you folks who are wondering why I'm adjusting it so much. You know, I remember it so well. I was 7 years old, and I'm standing inside my living room. My mother has the vacuum on in the background, and I'm staring out the window, and I can see my brothers outside. One of them is mowing the front lawn, and the other one is bringing a wheelbarrow to the backyard. And I can see my father out there. He's kind of walking around back and forth. He's trying to fix a car. And I, being the youngest, I'm stuck inside. I got a dust. And I don't like that. So I want to go outside, and I want to go see my dad and see if he might be able to give me something cooler to do. So I meet up with him in the garage. And I tell him, hey Dad, I want to try some work out here. And he says to me, son, what do you want to do? And I look around, and I can see leaning up against the siding is a big old push broom. And I'm like, I could sweep. So he put the broom in my hand, and he came up behind me and showed me how to push it. And I started to push this thing and try to clean out all the dust in the garage. And all this dust came up, and as I was pushing, I got a sliver in my hand, and I looked over at my dad, and I dropped the broom at this point. I said, I don't like to sweep. And he says, well, what do you want to do then? And I remember from the kitchen table, he was talking about some of the things that need to be done on the weekend, and my ears perked up when he said painting, because I paint at school all the time, and I'm really good at it. I'm 7. I mean, everybody paints. And so he sat me down over by the fence. He gave me a big white can of paint and a big brush, and he showed me how to do it. And I don't know, maybe 5 minutes in, I've got paint on my face, and this muscle, which I didn't even know was a muscle, was like on fire. Like I couldn't hold the brush anymore for some reason. And I called him over and I said, hey Dad, I don't like to paint. So he says to me, he goes, how do you feel about the whippersnipper? And or the weed eater, I don't know what you guys call it, but whippersnipper. And I was like, my eyes just, ooh, absolutely, this is a machine. This is the reason I came out here. The moment has arrived. Yeah, give me that. So he put some glasses on me, and I was all excited. He showed me how to push it down when you want to get the nylon string to come out further, and when you're going. And man, for the first minute and a half, I was so good at it. I was like cutting the things down. I was proud. It was a proud moment for me. And then while I was doing it, something from down there came up here really fast, and it hit me in the face. And I dropped the thing, and I ran inside, and I probably went crying to my mom. I don't know if it's true, but I could hear laughter in the background as my father witnessed this happen. And I went inside and I helped my mom with the rest of the chores, and this was kind of a regular, customary thing for us. And when we were finished the inside, we would go and see her mom. We would get in the car, and we would drive and go see her mom. And I remember backing out the driveway, and I remember seeing my brothers working hard. I knew they'd be doing it all day, and so I had a big old smile as I'm waving to them, knowing that I'm going to get cookies and all kinds of stuff at my grandmother's house. But I remember it for a different reason. We would back up the driveway, and almost as soon as we hit the hill to go up and go from Sydney to Victoria, or Deep Cove to Victoria, which is about a 30-minute drive, my mom would throw in an 8-track. See, because my mom loved to sing so much. And we would sit there and sing to all kinds of songs. Anne Murray, John Denver, the Beatles, Bob Dylan, Crystal Gale. God, it didn't matter what it was, we would sing. And she would hold my hand the whole time. Well, maybe not in some of the harder corners, but it felt like she was holding my hand the whole time. When I was just a kid, driving in the car, my mom would put an 8-track on. We'd sing along, and she'd just hold my hand. I can't help but want that time again. And if I could turn the clock back and find a way to stop it, right there on the road where we both sang. And if I could turn the clock back and find a way to stop it, just so I could hold her hand again. When I was 17, standing on the stairs, I dropped a bomb and told my mom in not too long I was gonna be dead. Oh, she took my hand, smiled and said it ain't so bad. And if I could turn the clock back and find a way to stop it, right there on the road where we both sang. And if I could turn the clock back and find a way to stop it, just so I could hold her hand again. At 23, she said to me, all you gotta do is just believe. Oh, that you can do anything anybody else can. And all that time till 29, oh, she stood in everything is right, smiling while she's holding out her hand. At 31, when she said, son, you gotta love the things you've never done, because not everything you want, it goes to plan. There I am at 34, with the doctors at the door. And it's never felt this way before. And if I could turn the clock back, find a way to stop it, right there on the road where we both sang. And if I could turn the clock back, I'd find a way to stop you and take that cigarette from her hand. Now I'm going to play a sad one. There is a cool place that's not even in operation anymore. It's a shame, and there's some people that are here who know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a venue out in Parksville. Some of my, some really cool people that I've met there at Ground Zero have made it to this beautiful venue here, and I thank you for that. And I'm going to tell you, this song I'm about to play, I had a moment that happened inside that venue that really, really touched me emotionally in a way that I was just so, I don't know, grateful to be in a place where something cool could happen, you know? And so So I'm playing the first set there, and the room is on fire. The room is quiet, and everyone's listening, and everybody's with me, and I finished the first set. Now, sitting over on the right here is a young little girl, maybe 10 years old, and she is tapping her feet, waiting for me to get off the stage because she wants to talk to me. And I know this, and I'm like cleaning things up, and I'm like, okay, yep, I'm gonna be there in a second. I've got a second set coming up, so I sometimes I'll go outside and get some air or whatever, and I know getting through that area is gonna be a little bit difficult, but I can see this anxious kid, and I'm drawn, and I go and I talk to her. And she has had an incredible first set. So much so that she has devoted in her brain already that she's going to play music, and that she is going to take it on super, super seriously. And we have about a 10-minute conversation about it, and what she could do and how she could do it. And then I go and do my thing, and I don't see her again for a little while. I get back up on stage, and here's a moment of sadness for me. I look over, and she's gone. And I'm like, did the parents take her out of here? Is that really what's happened? And I started to play the song, and then I see her walking down the aisle of this venue, and she's wearing one of those shirts right there, an Unstoppable one, and she is beaming, and she sits back down, and I was about to play this tune right here. This tune is about, honestly, about a little girl following her dream. And I was in the middle of playing that song when she walked back down that aisle, and I was like, there's no way that just happened. Running by the water with her arms in the air like a bird, through the field and up the hill. Oh, she couldn't stop, 'cause all that she heard was the sound of a plane. Pictured what the world would be like up there, soaring through the early morning sky. But she was stuck here on the ground. Oh, this was about as far as she could reach. Well, she said, that's not enough for me. Take me up just a little bit higher. Take me up as far as I can see. Take me up just a little bit higher. A little bit higher. That's where I wanna be. So she went and grabbed her daddy's wooden ladder, leaned it up against that big old willow tree. One by one, rung by rung, oh well, she climbed about as high as she could be. But she said, oh, that's not enough for me. Take me up just a little bit higher. Take me up as far as I can see. And take me up just a little bit higher. A little bit higher. That's where I wanna be. somewhere down below. Made it right up to the top of that old tree. When her fingers touched the sky, oh, she reached out as far as she could reach. And she said out loud, hey, can you hear me? Oh, hey, can you hear me? That's not enough for me. Just a little bit higher. Take me up as far as I can see. Take me up just a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Just a little bit higher. Oh, a little bit higher. Just a little bit higher, 'cause that's where I wanna be. Thank you so much. You know, music is the soundtrack to our soul. There's no doubt about that. And I must put my guitar back in order. I was born in BC. I spent the first 14 years of my life here, and then my mom moved out to Ottawa, and then I had a child, and then my mom moved back. And she moved back to Surrey, and I traveled back to see her a number of times over the years. We tried to do Christmases together. She would have big gatherings in her house of friends and family, like 17 of us. This one year, being a musician, I've never really had ubiquitous cash flow. And so this one year, we were going to do Secret Santa. Everybody picks a name from the hat from the family. There's 17 of us, and we all pick a name, and then you pay up to $40 for the gift. You guys have probably been a part of something like that before. And I always hoped that my mom was going to pick my name, because I've seen my mom, she blew that budget. Like, she'd spend $500 on somebody saying, oh, I'm sorry. You're like this person, the person she got that year got a coat and a sewing machine. So she didn't have me. No, my stepbrother had me. My stepbrother lived down in the States at the time, and he wasn't going to make it up for Christmas. I didn't really think that much of it. It was a big deal. I loved hanging out with people at Christmas. So on the day that I arrived, I ended up getting there. My mom says, hey, listen, I got some things I got to go do. So if you don't mind, I've got some deliveries that are coming today. So maybe you could just sort of watch the house. And I was like, sure, no problem. And so 5 minutes after she left, the door. So I go and answer the door, and there's surely enough a guy from, I think it was UPS, and he's like, hey, I got a delivery for North Easton. And I'm like, what? Like, I just got here, like I'm from Ottawa, and suddenly I get a delivery. The first delivery that comes in is for me, and I'm like, okay, cool, man, I'll take it. And I go to close the door, and he says, no, it's COD. And I'm like, what? How much is the COD? $45. I look at the package and I can see that it's from my stepbrother, Trent. Thanks, man. Thanks for the gift. So I paid the man and bought my gift, and then I didn't even think anything of it. I just threw it under the tree, right? Now, at this particular moment in the story, you almost have to go back into my history, because as a younger boy, I didn't go to my dad's shop a lot. My dad was a welder. But when I did go to the shop, many times he would go and take me out to McDonald's or something like that. He'd take me out for lunch, and I would look over at him when he would pay. And I was always fascinated, because my father would pull out of his pocket, like I'd see a $100 bill. And I was like, wow, $100 bill. And he had it attached to this money clip. And I was always fascinated by this money clip. And I always wanted one. Come Christmas morning, I'm opening up this package from my stepbrother, the package I paid for, and it was a money clip with my name engraved on it. Now, I hadn't really told anybody about that. Just a lucky guess, and a really cool, heartfelt lucky guess, right? And so, I did what any sane person, maybe not sane, I did what any person would do. I put most of my money on that money clip, like I was cool, you know, like here I am, I'm cool. Look at this, I got a $100 bill. In fact, I had a few $100 bills. I had $600, and that's all the money in the world that I had. Now, on the year that this story took place, I had a call from my mother. Well, more than a call. My mother had been diagnosed with lung cancer. The relationship that I was in had ended. My new child was on the way. And I was trying to get into shape. And so I was riding in February. Anybody been here near Ontario in February? I was riding my bike in Ontario February, and needless to say, and I was like that guy who's going, I'm doing it. Yeah, I know my face is bleeding. I know that I'm probably going to lose a finger or two, but I'm doing this because I'm going to get in shape. And I went out for a bike ride, and I took the spill of my life, and I flipped down to the ground, bent my handlebars and the front tire, and I pushed my bike back. I got up really quickly, hopefully nobody saw me. I got back up, shook it off a little bit, and I went back home, and I put my bike in the garage, and then I started to go inside. I took off my coat, and I grabbed my money, and it wasn't there. The money clip was gone. I owed rent, I owed food. I really was at the bottom of the barrel, looking up. And then everything really started to go wrong for me. Because if you channel negative energy, you get negative energy, right? And I didn't learn this lesson yet. I hadn't learned it at the time. And sometimes I still don't learn it, but most of the time I got it down now. But here's the thing. Everything started to happen. I broke something I shouldn't have broke, not intentionally, it just fell. And then I went into the kitchen and I thought, you know what really helps normally is when I eat. I'm gonna eat some food. I got some bread left. I had 2 crusts left in that frickin' bread bag. And I had a little bit of peanut butter. And this was enough for me to go, yep, that'll solve things. So I did it all up, and I went to grab myself a glass out of the cupboard, and I knocked the toast off of the cupboard, and it fell directly down. And it did not land the way you would want it to. And there was no 5-second rule in that house, I assure you. It was pretty much, you catch it on the way down, or don't even, like even before it lands, things are reaching up for it. You know what I'm saying? And so it landed poorly, and I was mad, and so I went down to pick it up, and I swiped it all up, and I knew that wasn't going to happen. Now, I should have thought about the cupboard door that was ahead, because when I came back up, the corner of the cupboard hit me dead center on the top of my head, and I went right back down to the ground. And I was mad, and tears were now coming out of my eyes because I had hurt my head pretty bad. I had a swelling almost instantaneously. And so I was now going to do something. I don't know what, I was mad, I wanted to do something, so I ended up going downstairs. On my way down the stairs, and this is again where negativity just got its best to me, I did the heel slide. If you've ever done a heel slide down the stairs, it's a thump, and then you land on your butt, and it's hard, and it hurts, and you can feel your sciatica, or maybe your lower lumbar spine, or something. And that happened, and I decided to hit the wall when I got to the bottom because I just landed, and my hand went into the goddamn wall. Now I'm smiling here, but I wasn't smiling. You see, that money clip had been given to me by my stepbrother, and my stepbrother took his own life. And that was important to me. So I went back out and I looked for more than 2.5 hours, snowbank, digging, no gloves, freezing cold, burning, came back home with intentions of doing stupid shit. And I went down into my studio to grab something, and I almost left the house and I saw my guitar. And I said, just grab that thing, just pick it up. Just fucking pick it up, Lord. To the highest tower, and there I stay. I try to make my peace, I try to get away. And every word I spoke was thought about and sugar-coated. But here I am, my gun is loaded. Far below me I can see the eyes of everyone. Someone's father, someone's daughter, someone else's son. A steady hand, and there I stand until my planning is done. It isn't over, it's just begun. I clench my teeth, I plant my feet, I close my eye and focus, and hold my breath, and do my best to not forget. And far beneath on crowded streets, I close my eye and focus, and hold my breath until I'm found. No one knows the many roads that brought me here today. But in the papers we'll read about it anyway. And everyone I never knew will say, I remember him, I remember him. I clench my teeth, I plant my feet, I close my eyes and focus, and hold my breath, and do my best to not forget. And far beneath on crowded streets, I close my eye and focus, and hold my breath until I'm found. My cheek is pressed against the cold and lonely polished steel. I push aside the thoughts I hide and everything I feel. And in the seconds just before I finally reconcile, everyone I knew and every bloody smile, I clench my teeth, I plant my feet, and close my eyes and focus, and hold my breath, and do my best to not forget about the things I've done before. Being on crowded streets, I close my eyes and focus, and hold my breath until I'm found. I'm found. I'm found. Thank you. This is it's been such a pleasure to come back and perform here, Char. I love this. The next time I'm back, everybody who lives in this area, spread the word. I'd love to fill the place up, but I also, I play a lot of house concerts, and this is already twice as many people as a house concert. It's intimate, and you folks have been fantastic. I've still got a few more songs left, so it's not me leaving yet, but I know that time is coming. I've written songs about a lot of things, and things that have hurt me, things that have helped me, things that have made me who I am today, for sure. But I've written about 100 songs for that beautiful woman in the back, my wife. And let me sing probably, I don't know, I look up sometimes and I wonder how the hell is she still here? And I've written a lot of complicated songs, but this is a simple one, and I sent it to her because, well, you'll get it. I don't understand how you think it's all my fault. Don't even give me a chance, you just cast me off. I know I'm complicated, I'll be the first to say it. I'm wrong more than I'm right, but I ain't wrong about this. We could fix it with a kiss, one that lasts all night. I ain't gonna play like I got you all figured out. I'm barely making sense of the thoughts coming out of my mouth. I know I get impatient, I ain't afraid to say it. I'm wrong more than I'm right, but I ain't wrong about this. We could fix it with a kiss, one that lasts all night. Oh, what if we lean in close, nice and slow, and maybe we could both just let go of all these dead end roads we keep walking down. And what if we just turn it all around? Oh, lean in close, nice and slow, and maybe we could both just let go of all these dead end roads we keep walking down. What if we just turned it all around? I don't know if you know how much you mean. From the wake of my day to the fall of my sleep, I know I'm complicated, but I'd be the first to say I'm wrong more than I'm right, but I ain't wrong about this. We could fix it with a kiss, one that lasts all night. Thank you so much.
Can I ask you guys a big favor? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually film you. And all I want to do, I gotta put it to wide because I think I can almost get everybody. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Oh, so I gotta do it without recording.
Let's get our good side.
It's easy. This is an easy thing. All we're gonna do is we're gonna say, "Happy birthday, Pascal." That's it. It's my daughter. It's her birthday today, and we're not with her. She's in Oregon, but she'll get a kick out of this. So I'll give you a 1, 2, 3, and you guys will all say, "Happy birthday, Pascal." That's the name. You guys think you can do that with me?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Okay. So 3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday, Pascal!
Love it. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Thank you. She's gonna love that. I love it too. You guys are fabulous. So this is the part of the show. I've got 2 more songs left right now. This is the part of the show where you guys help me, and I'm gonna need a few people here, and maybe all of you. Can anybody in this room whistle?
No.
That's not true. That's not true. I know it's not true. See, I've only got 1 or 2. Here's the hook I'm gonna ask you to whistle with me, okay? It goes like this.
Wow.
Okay, let's try that. One more time. And
You guys are fabulous. That's brilliant. Okay, you're gonna know. You're gonna know when that happens. I guarantee it. In the meantime, I'm gonna play this little ditty that I wrote with a couple friends of mine on at the Nahatlatch River. We were doing some whitewater rafting songwriting gatherings. This was the final day of the event, and we wrote this little tune because you guys have all seen some stuff online where somebody has taken a picture of themselves and maybe changed it a little bit to make them look a little bit better. And if you haven't done that, you certainly know people who have. If you have children, they definitely have. So it goes like this. It's a regular day, it's a 8:15, missing cream for my coffee, I'm running late. The car barely starts cause there's only fumes in the tank. I hit the drive-thru, that's when I choose the Egg McMuffin with the hash browns too. Only to find out on the drive out that they fucked that up too. Thanks. Grab some gas, pay with cash. Get up on the freeway, I'm in dead last. They're the longest line of brake lights I've ever seen. Damn, I won't sweat it, no I won't let it get me down, cause I'll just edit all this ordinary out. If you follow me, you'll see me standing beside a souped-up car, pretending it's mine, looking like a rock star, while all my posts get at least 1,000 likes. My hair, it looks great, my teeth, they look straight, kinda like Betty White, I never age. It's good to be alive in this online paradise. Don't hate my hashtag, picture perfect life. You guys, picture perfect. Not bad, not bad. The 5-star food's got just the right mood. The lighting was sweet, but to tell you the truth, it took like 27 shots to get it right. I waited too long, the heat was all gone. The food it got dry and the rolls were like stone. And it tasted like shit, but it's more than a hit to my friends online. Where I'm wearing my brand new shirt that no one can see. I ain't wearing no pants, and that's fine by me. All my posts get at least 1,000 likes. My hair, it looks great, my teeth, they look straight, kinda like Betty White, I never age. It's good to be alive in this online paradise. Don't hate my hashtag, picture perfect life. Picture perfect life. Oh, you see me strolling somewhere out on the ocean. You don't even know that this was taking years before. What if you keep on strolling? You'll find a million more. Well, I got a drink in my hand, ass in the sand, a beautiful tan, all thanks to an app. And all my posts get at least 1,000 likes. My hair, it looks straight, my teeth, they look straight, kinda like Betty White, I never age. It's good to be alive in this online paradise. It's good to be alive in this online paradise. It's good to be alive in this online paradise. Don't hate my hashtag. Picture perfect life. Picture perfect life. Picture perfect life. I must be doing something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. This has been great. This has been fantastic for me. I really, truly appreciate being able to play with you guys. Thank you again, Char. And thank you, everybody, for making the trip out. You know, I've been blessed. I mean, both my parents are gone, but I was blessed to have them in my life for the time that I did and learn as much as I did from them. And it's a weird thing when they go because I feel like they're almost sometimes more alive than they were when they were here because now I talk positively about them. I wish they could hear some of the things that I say now about them because they really truly had a magnificent impact on my life. And if they weren't there, then who the heck else would have, right? Like, you know, no matter what they do, no matter what our parents do, if we still hold grudges with the people that we are friends and family to, man, we got to get over it because big deal. Let's start again. Let's just listen close to what they're actually saying. Let's take our own selfish agendas out of the way for just a moment and really hear what people are going through. We're Canadian and we're lucky. We're not in a situation where another country's trying to take us over. We're not in a position where everybody has a gun. We're not in a place where, you know, other people are fighting their neighbor every single day. We're looking around and we're going, sorry. And that's true, you know, like even today alone, I heard 5 stories. I listen for them now, and I think it's funny that people make it think something that Canadians do, but it's because we have a layer of consideration that's there, a layer of empathy, a layer of wanting to help. I dropped some bottles off today at a bottle run, and there was like 9 or 10 volunteers, people just giving their hearts, because all the money that's being raised from the bottle drive is going over to the Ukraine to help people who are struggling, to help people who are suffering, or giving people a new sort of chance on life. And out of all of the things that my parents have told me, the one thing that my mom gave me as advice, and it's stuck to this very day, every single day, is that no matter what, it's going to be okay. Even for the people who are really struggling, they're going to have a day, the next day. I mean, unless you're dead, you're going to have another sunrise. And you get another chance to laugh, or share a thought, share a hug, or a kiss, or a smile. So I urge and ask you all, tomorrow, and even tonight, but tomorrow for sure, smile at somebody who you wouldn't normally smile at and watch what happens. I do this with my kids. I watch them smile at people and their whole day changes. My kids too, but the person that they're smiling at. Ask somebody an honest question about who they are and what they're doing. And really want to listen to it because everything's going to be okay. And I don't know, we got to share that. Pour me one more for the road. Show me a side that you don't want me to go. Talk with your eyes and tell me with a smile everything is fine, everything is okay now. Watch me waving from the car. You're standing on the street with your arms around my heart. I can hear you saying as you're fading out into the dark. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be just fine. And we'll find a way to make it. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. 'Cause I'll do anything to hear you say, stay. Press your face against the glass, frozen in time while the world is moving fast. Somewhere inside I'm falling, crashing hard against the last thing I heard you say. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be just fine. And we'll find a way to make it. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. And I'll do anything to hear you say. I'm gonna put on the brakes, get out of the car, run down the street and follow my heart. I'm gonna picture your face staring at mine. No matter how long it takes, I'm now ready to say goodbye. Put on the brakes, get out of the car, run down the street and follow my heart. I'm gonna picture your face staring at mine. No matter how long it takes, I'm not ready to say goodbye. Pull me one more for the road. Show me a sign that you don't want me to go. Talk with your eyes, tell me with a smile, everything is fine. Everything is okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much. I wonder which one I'll do. Thank you very much. That's a lot. I really do appreciate it. It's just give me 1 second here. It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 songs then. I'll do 2 last songs. stay here all night. I have not played Unstoppable a lot because I've been working on a ton of other tunes. Well, I don't even know why I would set it up that way. That's a good way to set it up, isn't it? So, this is one of the many tunes that I wrote for my beautiful wife, but because when I first met her, she was a skydiver. And she jumped out of a plane a whole bunch of times, and it was after the loss of my mom, and when my mom passed away, I was like, I'm going to live my life. I'm gonna bungee jump, I'm gonna ride roller coasters till through midnight, I'm gonna jump out of airplanes. And then this woman came looking for a bridge pin after hours, after the store would have been closed. She had just started law school, in fact, and it was her first term, and she was taking on guitar to sort of balance her world. And she broke a string, so she went to the Walmart that was in Rockland, and she said, hey, you have strings? And they did. So she took the strings and she went back to her house and she started to change them. And then she broke one of these bridge pins. So she went back to Walmart. Now it's about 9:30 at night. And she said, do you have any of these bridge pin things? She didn't know they were called bridge pins. Do you have any of those little things that go on the end of the guitar? And the guy was like, no, we don't carry that. And she's like, shit, is there anywhere else? And she goes, the guy says, have you tried Rockland Music? And she's like, there's a Rockland Music? That's my store. And I answer the phone, it's 9:35, and I answer the phone. I'm in the middle of a lesson with a songwriter, an adult songwriter, and the store's been closed for a while. And she's like, hey! And she had all this energy, and she goes, I need a bridge pin. And now here's the thing, a week before, I couldn't order much. I ordered like one guitar for the wall, a few strings, and the guy who was selling me the stuff sold me on bridge pins. I would never have had, I was like, I don't think I need them. You need these. And so I bought these bridge pins. And so when she said, I'm looking for a bridge pin, I was like, I have a bridge pin. I got 30 of them in this little box back here. Woo! I'm gonna make 75 cents tonight. She came in. This is no word of a lie. She came in, she bounded up the stairs. She didn't walk up the stairs. I had 2 sets of stairs to get up. I just heard come, 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 come. She came up to the top and she turned the corner with excitement because she was going to get her bridge pin. And I was like, hey! And she was like, hey! And there was just a click. And in that moment, her click was different than my click. I was excited about the bridge pin. She looked beautiful, but I was excited about the bridge pin. She signed herself up for guitar lessons that night, and her 3 children stretched out over a couple days. So for the next month, I was teaching her kids and I was teaching her, and we got to know each other a little bit. Come December 1st, she invited me over to just come for like a drink in her house and just come and stay and have a chat. And we'd been chatting a little bit on MSN. And so I walked there, it was about a kilometer away from my house. I went inside. 16 hours later, I was saying goodbye to her at the door, and she handed me a key. I moved in, and I've never left. Less than 2 weeks after that, we had matching tattoos on our neck, and less than a month, I was jumping out of airplanes, and living life. And now the shirt and the story of Unstoppable goes further than that, because I've met some people who it's become something for them. You know, people who are fighting things, people who feel like they need to be empowered, people who pull strength from symbol. And that was the intent, was hopefully there's something that I can do that can change the world in a positive way. You know, and if that's something I can do by being inspired by somebody who changed my life in a positive way, well then I'm paying it forward, and that's what I'm here for. And every time you guys come to any of my shows, anybody that comes to any of my shows does that for me. I just hope I can do it back as well as you guys do it for me, because you fill my soul, there's no doubt. This is called Unstoppable. Outside, the black tie, the red dress, the sunlight. She's unstoppable, the carnival is starting up inside. And like a child, she's a tightrope walking mystery. I think I thought I saw her see me, trying to catch her eye. You never break even, never even see between the faded lines. But you can spend half your time loving what you got inside. But take a breath and let the rest of this all go by. So suddenly one of the only other ones having fun, making leaves in the rain or the setting sun, looking life in the face but the race isn't over. Oh no, no, she's suddenly one of the only other ones having fun, wide awake on the edge of the crack of dawn. She got a long list going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Late night and work hard, take home my heart. She's unstoppable, unwatchable, my favorite work of art. And like a clock she spins around and paints the sky above the ground. And I try to breathe, but it's hard for me to wait till she comes down. But she can spend half your life looking for a reason why you never break even, never even read between the faded lines. You can spend half your time loving what you got inside. And take a breath and let the rest of this world go by. She's suddenly one of the only other ones having fun. You wait till the rain or the setting sun, looking life in the face but the race isn't over. Oh no, no. And she's suddenly one of the only other ones having fun, wide awake at the edge of the crack of dawn. She got a long list going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Inside the circle, find out her goal. She's unstoppable and all the world is waiting just outside. And like a child with a smile, she radiates a while. Oh, well, she takes another step my way. She's unstoppable. She's unstoppable, yeah. She's surely one of the only other ones having fun, wide awake on the edge of the crack of dawn, looking life in the face but the race isn't over. Oh no, no. And she's surely one of the only other ones having fun, making waves in the rain or the setting sun. Oh, she got a long list going on. Yeah, yeah. She's unstoppable. Oh, she's unstoppable. Yeah, yeah. Oh, she's unstoppable. I love it. That's fabulous. So I'm in my studio one time, and it's dark. I don't have windows in my studio. I thought that was a really good idea, but it's no. It's really dark in there sometimes, and so the only friend that I have sometimes is the mirror that's in that room. So I kind of look over and I write songs sometimes, and I think about what's going on, and I'll watch myself and go, okay, you look silly, or that works, or whatever. It's not about vain, it's more about reflection. Because when we look at ourselves, we don't see what other people see, even though we're seeing our own reflection. And in that moment, when I came up with this next tune, well, it made me think of some people that I know. There's a gentleman that I know, he brings up a lot of thoughts. He's a young boy, or was a young boy. He passed away. And he had a really horrible disease. He's known as a butterfly child. And his name was Jonathan. And he was like a 60-year-old man in a 15-year-old's body. I was there with him when he was speaking to 600 people at CSIS. And he was sitting there. everybody was in this big, huge tower of floors, and they were all around this sort of foyer looking down at this young boy who was speaking and motivating every single human being in that room. Dead quiet, and he was speaking words that you couldn't even imagine were coming out of this child's mouth. And I talked to Jonathan on a number of occasions, and Jonathan believed something. He believed the same thing in my friend Jeff. Jeff is a firefighter. He's a guy that runs in with a team of 20 guys behind him to stop these fires from spreading up in Banff and Alberta area. Like a true hero that you kind of think about in your head, you know? That just runs in and doesn't matter about himself. When Jeff isn't doing that for fun, he's a snowboarder. And he's not the type of guy who goes, wee, that was fun. He's the type of guy who goes, flip, 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 wee, that was fun. Well, one time when Jeff went on one of these jumps, the last run of his day, Jeff came down harder than he had ever come down, and he severed his C4. That's in his spine. And Jeff became a quadriplegic. It took him a month to wake up. And when he did, his best friend, who was his sister his whole life, she just sort of leaned into him and he said, whispering, I guess it's going to be different now. And he just took the world on. He raised money for people in a foundation called the Live It, Love It Foundation. I've been wearing this since the day I met him. The Live It, Love It Foundation is an organization not to try and get people who are in his position to walk again, but to get people who are in his position to go bungee jumping and to go downhill skiing and to play rugby and to play basketball. And he's made a ton of people's lives, enriched them by having this confidence and this positivity. He is a light in a shining room. And he told me once, he says, I'm one of the lucky ones. And so if I'm walking somewhere and I'm tired and my back's hurting, or it's too hot, or it's too cold, I think of these two human beings in my life and I go, seriously, you have a right now to complain? Dude, you're one of the lucky ones. I had it tattooed on my arm because it means that much to me. And the message in which they gave me just by being a friend to me is something I can never repay, except for to pass it on. So when I sat there in my studio this one day staring at myself, regardless of the trials and tribulations that I'd had, this song came out. There's a man in the mirror, I barely recognize his face. So I lean in closer, just to see the things he's chased. And the stories underneath his skin speak of what he's done. Fighting back the fears that have followed him since he was young. And all these days, searching for the sun. And all these days, he's one of the lucky ones. And the voice in his head, he's whispering, but he can't hear the words. So he closes his eyes and pictures everything he's ever heard. And it's hard not to break at the sound of all the people that are gone. His biggest mistakes keep screaming out, hold on. And all these days, searching for the sun. And all His hands are on the table, tapping to the ticking of the clock. Oh, he stares down at the glass that he's filled halfway to the top. And he smiles to himself, 'cause he knows damn well better than to stop. He's stuck on the ride of his life, doesn't want to get off. And all these days, searching for the sun. And all these days, oh, he's one of the lucky ones. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody. Really appreciate that. By all means, buy those cards in the back. Thank you. I love you guys.